interviewing two beautiful women on her team who are in qualification for the white Mercedes. So Teri, I'm not going to talk anymore. I'm going to turn it over to you and let you take over.
Okay, hopefully my internet will stay stable and I won't look like a alien. Welcome, you guys. It's so fun to see the numbers grow on our Monday noon huddle. I remember when, people weren't buying into the noon huddle. It was like in the middle of the day or people were at work. So congratulations and kudos to you for coming on. It's a way for us to come together under the Gallardi Nation umbrella and just connect. And I think it's fun when we get to do that. And so many of you know my story. I've been in Arbonne for 13 and a half years, and I went to region in 9 months. I promoted to regional vice president in 9 months. Really thought we were going to be a national vice president by the end of the second year of my business. I ended up getting pregnant with a third unexpected daughter. It really threw me for a loop. I had a really big hot leg that was chomping at the bit to like pass me up. That was Teri Wilson and her team. And so I actually worked and then Teri continued to promote VPs and I didn't promote anyone but Teri. And I just kind of was really fortunate and lucky to have had my Arbonne business because some of you might be in the position of having a big leg and it might be threatening or it might be overwhelming, but you guys, you have to really just be grateful and have gratitude for that, because that part of my life when I wasn't actively working full-time, I worked my business part-time in and out, but that was a big part of the paycheck that helped my family. So never, ever, ever be jealous or envious of someone in your organization that has maybe a bigger leg than you, or maybe their team underneath you is doing bigger numbers, sponsoring more people, you guys, because that is a gift. That is the blessing of what we get to do in this business. And then you guys, I went on a Arbonne incentive trip, and someone was talking about this 28-day detox, and I'd always been into fitness and nutrition, you guys, and they were talking about putting this plan together and using the Arbonne products. And at that time, some of the girls were using other products outside of Arbonne, and I was like, I don't need any other products but what Arbonne has. And you guys, back then we didn't have a Digestion Plus, we didn't have a greens powder, we had a very basic nutrition line. But myself and several girls got back and we're like, okay, what do we have? How can we put this together? How can we implement this into using the Arbonne products and creating a 30-day? And back then I called it Fresh Start. It was a 30 days to a fresh start. I ended up giving the plan that we had created. I mean, we had a professional plan, we had it bound, we had it professionally put together. I ended up giving that to our CEO back then, Kay Napier. This year will be 10 years ago. And I said, we need to be doing this as a company. There were a lot of companies out there that had nutrition products and they were creating these, 30-day plans. Back then it was 28. And so you guys, with that, our team really, really started to gain stride with the nutrition line. We put together the Fit and Facials. So Fit and Facials was RE9, we had the RE9 and the facial plan, but we weren't able to really integrate the nutrition part. So I created Fit and Facials. We started doing that. My team was really heavy into nutrition. You guys, we were doing 30 days all day long with our clients when we didn't have groups. And so what I want you guys to know is that it's evolved so much since then, but that's really what brought us to Nation. And it was a time when nutrition was big. They had was it transformation, what was that, GTC, Beth? It was, I don't know, something transformation. I can't remember the name of it. I was a trainer at GTC 2 years in a row. We really actually were in the peak and pinnacle part, pure transformation, when my team went Nation the first time. And we were Nation for a couple years, you guys, not a strong Nation like we are today. But what happened was, you guys, is we continued to just kind of stay the course, right? People stayed in. People come and leave in your business all the time. And honestly, you guys, I didn't think it would take me 8 years to go national vice president. I was supposed to promote to national vice president at the time, Arbonne and the nutrition plan and what was going on. That was really, honestly, I feel like God placed me in that position to help that part grow for our company. In the midst of that, things come in ebbs and flows in business. And so I started taking care of my dad. I wasn't fully on the pulse of my business. There were some team members that left that were vital. We had some, different variations of people changing management levels. And so you guys, but I want you to know that we still stayed in the game. We still stayed in the game of our business. We still stayed, I did, in my belief. I never ever doubted that this was the right path for me. But I also will tell you, it's very easy to get comfortable at any management level because you guys are regional vice president paychecks, super comfortable. I mean, they're making more than most people, and you get to decide what your day looks like. And so I think that we can get comfortable even at the area manager level when you're making a couple $1,000s a month and you get to wake up when you want and you get to, sit in your pajamas all day. So I want to encourage you, number one, not to get comfortable. And I was comfortable, you guys, and there was a big part of that time that I was very shameful. I felt very embarrassed, but I also was probably one of the first people in Carlita's organization to say, take me out of the nation page. I'm not a national, take me out of the nation chat group. And I, eventually publicly told my leaders and then my team, because you guys, it's not anything to be ashamed of or embarrassed over. It's life. Life happens. And so I have to say, re-promoting to nation this month, it feels so good. It feels so vindicating, but also too, it's so fun because the dynamic of my team is so much different and it's so much stronger. So I don't sit in this pocket going, oh my gosh, how am I going to maintain? If you've ever promoted to a level of management and you're like, I don't know how I'm going to do this. I'm not worried about that. I know we're going to continue to build and grow. I know we're going to have 2 regional vice presidents that are going to pop out this month, and I know there's more to come. And so I guess my story, my point to you guys is that there are a lot of times, and if you've ever been this person, and I'm sure you have, if you're a runner in this business, people will say, you're already an MVP. I see you as an MVP. I see you as RVP, you guys. People told me that over and over and over. And it was a huge pressure. It was a huge pressure, but it was a compliment, right? It was a compliment. And I know that they meant it with heart and stuff like that. But at the same time, it was a pressure, like I should be doing something else or be doing more or whatever the case may be. And you guys, if you've ever been told that by someone, know that it's a compliment. Know that they see something in you that you can't see in yourself. And don't take it as a pressure thing, like, oh, I should be carrying, what are you carrying? Are you carrying pressure? Are you carrying like this person's opinion of what you should do or where you should be in your business? Are you carrying that, I'm strong, I can do this, I have determination, I have grit, nobody's going to stop me, I am meant to do this business, you guys? So we all have a responsibility to know what we carry. And so when someone breathes life into you, when your leader, your sponsor breathes life into you, believe them. Because people in this business, I have found, don't say what they don't mean. They're not going to be mean and rude, because I don't know that there's many Arbonne consultants within our team that's mean or rude, but at the end of the day, I think people really truly speak from their heart. And so what I want to leave you with today before I interview my team members is that, number one, this business has you right where you need to be. And at the end of the day, you guys, it's what you decide to do when you wake up. And it's what you think about you're going to do the next day when you go to sleep. Are you going to sit in front of the TV? Are you going to pick up the phone? Are you going to look through your team details? Are you going to go through your Instagram? Are you going to go through your Facebook? Are you going to ask? Well, don't let what you think someone else is going to respond to what you're going to do right now stop you from being the giver of hope. And I love what Beth shared on our VP call earlier. She goes, my goal this month is just to help as many people as we can. And you guys, at the end of the day, that's what we're called to do, not only in today's world, but way years and years and years ago in Arbonne, you guys. And so you guys have what it takes to go to whatever level you want or need in this business. You said bridge gap, and I've always used bridge gap income because people that have degrees and people that are highly successful, they're like, I'm not going to give up my job because I, went to school and all this stuff. Like, I'm not going to do that. Well, bridge gap income has always, I think, for the most part, led people to go region and nation in this business because of the community and everything else. So you're going to hear from two girls. One is, man, Amy, you've been with me almost the longest outside of Teri Wilson in this journey. And there was a point in time when I wasn't the leader that I needed to be. And Amy was really at a crossroads in her business. And so me not doing what I should have done to step up in my business caused her to be wary in her business and what she thought would be possible for her. And so I remember I met her at a coffee, Rudabagores, remember? And we had lunch. And it was when I came back from an RVP retreat, and I said, I will not go back again as an RVP. I'm going to go back as a nation. And I had 5 districts at the time, you guys. I was a region with 5 districts, that's it, and me. And I sat down with her and I told her, and I said, Amy, I said, I'm done playing around. I'm going to the top of this business, and I want more than anything for you to come with me. But if you don't, that's okay. I love you where you are. And she was really ready to step away from her business, you guys, because she was training and stuff like that. And at the end of the day, what happened is I think she had a little bit of FOMO, maybe that new term that you have, but also I think she didn't want to be left behind. And I think that she also probably felt really, my thing was I wanted her to know that I loved her where she was, but I felt that she had the ability and was special enough to go with me. And I wanted her to know that. So when you breathe life into people, you guys, I want you to remember your words matter and your actions matter. And I think Amy knew I desperately was going to go with or without her, but I so wanted her to come with me. And so Amy's going to, I have a couple questions for Amy. And I know she won't mind if I share this. Amy promoted to regional vice president shortly after I promoted to national vice president. And you guys, things happen. People leave the business. People don't stay at the level that they're at. And Amy eventually lost her region. And she's been on a fight and on a path to grow herself personally, to grow herself business, to really pursue what she wants for her family in this business. And she's in qualification for a regional vice president. I know that she is poised to finish this month. And so I'm super excited to share what she has to say with you, because you guys, she is a wisdom and a knowledge, and she is the steady in the storm for me, because she is always so steady and she's so rational. And I love now that she's coachable. There was one point when she was not very coachable. So she's more coachable today than she ever has been, and I've seen her grow. So Amy, I have a couple questions for you. I think we talked about, I sent them to you this morning, but I wanted to say I'm honored to be with you and be asking you these questions today, Amy. And you guys, hold on a second, technology. So I know, we both have comeback stories, right? And you guys, you didn't know, I lost my region twice also before I lost my nation. So I lost my region twice. First time I lost it almost a year and got it back before the end of the year. And then I lost it one more time for a month, and I vowed I would never do that again, and I didn't. So you guys, nothing's perfect. No one's going to remember that. No one. They're going to remember where you go and where you end up. So Amy, what do you think is different going region this time around for you?
I've been thinking about that question a lot. And first I wanted to say, when Teri came to me at Rutabagas or Rutabagas, however you say it, like, I truthfully before then didn't know what any of it was. Truthfully, I kind of knew the levels, but I didn't, like she said, I didn't know where she was going. I really had no plan. I was like, I liked her. But when she told me she had a plan and she was going, that then made sense to me. Like, oh, now there's direction. So I want to tell all of you, if you're not letting your people on your team know the direction you're headed and your clear vision and plan for it, they're not going to know. They're not going to know where they're going or where they could foresee themselves going. But as far as why it's different, I have to say, like, this time around, my communication and my strong desire to want to build teams for my people, like for them to see them grow, and that my focus be on their growth and not my own personal growth, has been pivotal. As a personal trainer with my own business, if you hear it's personal, like I didn't work with anybody. I worked with my clients, but I wasn't working with any other trainers or anything like that to collaborate and build this collective team. I was just me, myself, and I. So I really feel like I did not know how to communicate with, to work with, to team up with others to like develop like any sort of camaraderie. I mean, I really was a personal trainer of one running my own business. So to really learn that skill, learn people's different personalities, and to just like full on pour crazy love and hard work into them and show them the possibilities. And I think too, like showing people how to go district as fast as possible, right? Because if someone's not seeing that there's growth in this business right away and it takes them 6 months to go district and earn a couple $100s, that's what they're going to want to show the next person, right? So if we show people how to earn income quick and how to run and really just do that 2,500 that we're supposed to do monthly, and people see that success faster, then they can duplicate that better. So for me, it was learning that skill, learning communication, and learning how to just pour into others and show them how to really run in their business.
I love that. My armpits are sweating. I don't know why. Okay, so number 2, do you have a different perspective or mindset being in fall and finishing region this time than you did last time? Like what is your mindset? What do you think about what it looks like when you promote to RVP?
I see it as a little stepping stone for nation, where before region felt like this massive hurdle. And I think I knew I needed to do it, but I too was blessed with this crazy, amazing, leg, Shelby and Megan, and they just were a force to reckon with, and like my dearest, dearest friends, and we fully connect, and they're my huge support system. But they were what I was chasing versus what I should have been building along with them. That makes sense. Like I wasn't focusing on my central area. I was so focused on like Shelby's area and Megan's area that I wasn't growing and building my own. And I'm like, so kind of to that first question, like I'm just really focused on blessing people into this business and showing them how to truly build their teams. Like the most fun part for me used to be like getting people through the 30-day and seeing those results, which I still absolutely love. Now it's showing people how to build a team. Like, when we embrace like the business part and just showing people how to build these really awesome communities of their own and like, gift that to their family, like that for me is the fun part. And I just think a lot of work on my personal growth and development. I have to say I was super stubborn. I wasn't very coachable. I had a very strong ego about who I was in my training world. Like I was so confident in that realm that I didn't know how to let go of that to transition into like, or how to carry it over, maybe like that confident. It was a super hard transition for me. And I had a lot of pride, a lot of ego, and I had to work a lot on my personal development and allow my leaders to coach me and to plug into them. Because like I said, I really didn't know how to be a team player. So when I would get nervous or overwhelmed, I would shut myself out instead of like reaching to them for help. And now I'm like calling Teri every day, like, hello, here I am, whether you like it or not. Beth, hello. So that for me was a huge transformation too. Did I answer that?
Yeah, you did. Yeah. And then number 3, just really quickly, what would your top tip be for people that are looking at you and going, wow, I really want to be where she is? What would be your top tip?
I guess I think just that leaning in, if something's not going right or the flow, you feel stuck, like there's obviously like a glitch or something we need to work on, whether it's personal development, being coachable. So, I mean, I feel like if you feel stuck or there's like this little like, oh, I don't know what to do next, and, you know, like reach out. Like I feel like that held me back for a long time. And I felt this too, like, okay, real quick, I know I'm not doing a real good job, but I was trying to seek so many other business solutions, like other business mentors, other like books, yes, are good, but I was trying to go to other areas, like even being PTA president, like, oh, I can grow my leadership through like the PTA. So I got myself so bogged down in so many different areas of what I thought were going to help grow me that just pulled me so far away from my focus and my priority of Arbonne, and leaning into my leaders here. That too for me was a distraction. So I guess I would say if you feel like there's anything or you're stuck or whatever, lean into your leaders, lean into your team. There's so much value here. Like these women are top-notch CEOs of an organization. Yes, it's our job, but if you think about it, they're running like massive organizations, so they know exactly what to do and how to help us.
Oh, Amy, I love that. And you know, I'm proponent, like Beth knows this. I know that leaning in is hard for people sometimes because we feel embarrassed or we feel worried. Are we going to be judged by our leaders? Or are they going to think whatever? And you guys, honestly, we as leaders know when you're not leaning in what's going on. And, you know, I mean, I could go back and tell you stories, but I want to be sensitive of time of things that I did to pull away when I was pregnant and super sad and super sick. And I was embarrassed because I wasn't working and all those things. And I will tell you, Carlita and Beth called me religiously and they did not allow me to stay away. So you guys, leaning in is probably one of the best top tips you could have given, Amy. Thank you for sharing your story. And then, Beth, I know we're going to go a little bit over, you guys. I'm sorry, so I apologize in advance. The next gal that I have is going to share is my daughter. And if you've ever coached your child in something, you know how difficult it is. And honestly, you guys, I thought she watched me build this business. She's going to turn 18. She loves makeup. She's just going to build this business and it's going to be over. And no, not the case. She's like, nope, not going to do that. I'm going to be a famous makeup artist and I want to work at MAC. And you guys, she did ultimately get hired at MAC. She worked for benefits. She's worked for, but what happened is Eryn got to a point in her life where she was stuck. She was still doing the same thing in her job. She was serving. She was trying to rub two pennies together. And she was, I think falsely, Eryn, correct me if I'm wrong, but like, I feel like she was doing makeup enough and weddings enough that she felt like, I'm doing my thing. Like I'm doing what I'm passionate about. I'm sharing my gift. So in that realm, she's like, okay, this is good. Like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. But there was this other messy part of her life. And the one thing I want you guys to know is that my top tip would be give it enough time and never ever compare yourself, because Eryn compared herself to me for years. And I think that's what held her back. And I said, Eryn, I can never do in Arbonne makeup and skincare and relate to people the level that you can. Yes, I can on the wellness side, but you're going to build a completely different business and a completely different team. And so you guys, it took her time. Like, we can try and convince people all day long to build this business. You guys, we are not in the convincing game. You guys, we are in the breathing life into people, sharing it and allowing them to decide if this is their path. People will when they're ready. And so, Eryn, I have 3 questions for you as well, but I just want you and Amy both to know I'm so proud of you, and it's super fun for me to have you guys come into the leadership team together, because Amy, you've watched Eryn grow up. You've been a part of her journey too, and she's been a part of yours, and so it's very special. I know. So, Eryn, my first question for you is what are the first 3 things? You guys want to get a pen and a piece of paper. This isn't changing our recipe. It's not changing what we do, but I will tell you how she fast tracks these girls and in the first 3 steps of what she has them do. And it relates to our tools that we already have. So I don't want anyone to panic. It's not something different. It's just what she's honing in on in the very beginning. So Eryn, What are the first 3 things you do when you get a new consultant that signs up on your team? How do you set them up? What are the first 3 things you do? Just
Okay,
3.
first off, I'm a little emotional. But you guys, I expect a lot from the people on my team that are leaders, because unfortunately, I can't give every single person the exact amount of attention that I would like. And that's just what happens when you grow in this business. You have to be okay with finding peace and knowing that it's okay to delegate different things to your leaders on your team. It's okay to allow them to grow in their way that you've been allowed to grow. So this is something new that we've really started in my team in the last month to 2 months, but it's really been working with success. I told my leaders this, and I basically told them anytime there's somebody new that joins, I still call them their team, ultimately my team. Anytime there's somebody new that joins your team, I don't care if they're direct to you or direct to somebody else, I expect them to be on a call with me in 48 hours, a getting started call. And basically the sponsor is going to be on there. The person that signed up, the new consultant, is going to be on there. And if the leader of that team would like to be, they can, but they don't have to be. But these are the things that I go over, and these are the things that I tell them I expect of them. I pull up the action plan. I go over the action plan with them. I already asked the leaders to send them the action plan prior to them jumping on this call with me. So it's not like, what is this piece of paper she's having me look at? And I tell them, so I go over it and I'm like, listen, I expect of you your 100% contact list, your dream team list, in the next 48 hours. So really it's like a 2 to 4 day time span of where they get the action plan. We get them on a call. They get these things for me. I tell them what I expect of them. I tell them that as a new consultant, and really any consultant on my team, I expected the maintenance of $2,500 a month. I also expect 150 or 150 plus PCs a month. And I just tell them that is just kind of the building blocks for any consultant in our business. Obviously, you could do more if you'd like, but that's where we would really like for you to start as a sweet spot, because that's how you're going to earn your consultant bonus from now up until you're an MVP. So I give them those tips and those tricks from the very beginning, and I give them like kind of, this is what I expect of you. And if they don't do those things, I have their sponsor follow up with them. If they don't do those things, I kind of know that they really don't take this as seriously as some other people on my team, because you guys, you need to protect your time. And so these types of things and implementing these things with people is going to get them to jump into momentum quicker. And then they're also going to not sit around for a week and be like, why isn't anything happening? Why isn't anyone reaching out to me? They know that we mean business, but also too, you guys, this is a system that I can plug into, my leaders can plug into, and they can continue to teach those that are new to the business or seasoned to do the exact same thing as we continue to grow.
And I think with that too, you guys, I think sometimes we're afraid to show people the action plan and tell them the 2,500 and the 5 to 8 new PCs or consultants, simply because we're afraid they're going to freak out and go away, or we're afraid they're going to be like, I don't want to do this. And you guys, sometimes they do, but you guys, if we're not setting them up with honesty about the basic business building block of this business, when they don't hit it or when they are growing, they think it doesn't work. So we have to be honest. And that's one thing I can say. I love that she says expect of you. I'm like a little bit like, ooh. But I mean, I think in the sense of like, this is an expectation. If you want to grow and if you want to have support and you want to have launch, and you have to have a starting point. So you guys, I love. She uses our tools. She's young. Well, she's 29, but at the end of the day,
I'm 28.
28. Sorry, you'll be 29. But you guys, you might think, oh, young people aren't gonna, all her team is younger than her, but they're not gonna want all that stuff. The action plan's too big, blah, blah, blah. You guys know it's not. It is an effective tool, and it gives them tracks to run on. It's the foundation print.
And I will say to you guys, once I do that and once I check in with whoever sponsored them at that 48 hours, I'm like, okay, did they do it? And if they're like, yeah, I'm like, all right, here's 4 text message templates. Here's a dream team text message verbiage. Here's is a 30-day verbiage text message. Here is a take a look verbiage text message. And I tell them, go ahead and send these to them, make them as personal as you like, but have them start reaching out, help them if they need it. But you guys, this is how we're getting people into maximum momentum from the very beginning. So they're not sitting around and they notice that, oh, these people mean business. This is how I'm going to grow. There is a plan and set. And once that happens too, you guys, I have them do that with their dream team list. I have them do it with their 100% contact list. And then at that point, I have them create a post on their social media, whether it's getting their 30-day to healthy living products and going live with their sponsor, or it's going live with me about, you know, the products they get, or just going live in general and being very vulnerable in the fact that they're like, hey, I started something new. I'm super nervous, but I'm also really excited to, you know, grow my wealth, but also my health. And that's kind of how I get them launched. And this all happens within the first like 5 days of them signing up. And it's how I have people that are becoming like district managers and going into qual in less than a week. They're doing what they need to do. They're communicating how they need to communicate. And it's a little bit of extra work for me, you guys, but it's working, and it's why we're multiplying, and it's why people are joining our team, because they're seeing their friends and their network multiply and grow so quickly. So they're like, oh, wait, I can do that. And so it's a system. It's simply the things that we're already doing and we already have the tools for. I just went above and beyond to make myself a little bit extra busy last month as well as this month to not only achieve my goals, but help my team achieve their goals in a very quick pace and a time that we need to grow quickly.
And you guys, on that note, like I was looking, what is today, the 7th? The 6th?
6.
I mean, we already have 16 new PCs or consultants on their team, and it's the 6th of April. And I don't say that because she's my daughter. I'm just like, holy smokes, like where's all the sponsoring coming from? So people they're buying into the 40% off. They're buying into the build for more. They're buying into the free gift and stuff like that. So you guys have to know, people are still today in this world still interested and need what we have. They're just not even thinking about it. So Eryn, I love that so much. And I can put this into a text and send it to you, Beth, but what she does, because she's using the tools, 100% contactless, dream team, but she's setting an urgency when she meets with that person. And then that person meets it. And guess what, you guys, the naysayers and the people that are going to go in their ear or the nose, they don't have enough time for that to happen. And so they're not getting pushback on their heels, and then they're afraid to get going, or they think that this is a crazy idea. They don't have time because they're getting positive things happening. 2, Eryn, what do you do daily with your team to help them get into activity? Things like posting, virtual, connecting to you, team calls. What are like something that you do on a consistent basis every day?
So we have a team message in Facebook Messenger because we grew out of text messaging, which is super exciting, but it's also nerve-wracking because I feel like text messages people pay attention to more than a Facebook. So I have to be definitely more diligent in how I am approaching my Facebook Messenger. But every day I try and send them some sort of quote, or I try and send them something that is empowering and just some sort of message personally that's from me to just tell them like how I feel about them, how proud I am of them, whether it's we are celebrating success or, kind of mourning losses when it comes to no's and stuff like that. I do that on a daily basis, but I also too try to send out daily lists. It doesn't happen every day as much as it happens like maybe every 2 to 3 days, but it's 5 simple things. And it's as simple as reach out to 10 to 15 people today about Arbonne in general. Doesn't matter. I don't care if that's a 30-day. I don't care if it's about jumping on a take a look. I don't care if it's about Dream Team, whatever. And then I tell them, I want you to send one video, like a personal video of yourself right then and there to somebody that you are really, really, who's really on your heart when it comes to joining your Dream Team. You guys, I think a video is so much more personal, and sometimes people look at text messages and the moment they see you talking about Arbonne, they're like, nope, not interested. So sending a video, they're kind of interested and they're intrigued, so they usually watch it. And so I encourage them to send a video. I also encourage them, like today, I was like, post your favorite drink on social media and tag Bloom Nation, hashtag Bloom Nation. And then I also said, there was another one I said today at the end of the day that said, oh, post a story on your IGTV about your favorite Arbonne product. You guys, I've really been encouraging my team to do their why on IGTV lately, and I've had about 10 to 15 people that have done it and taken advantage of it, and they've had great success because of it. So as a leader, if you're giving your team little tasks to do every day, sometimes they may be like, I don't really know what I'm doing. I don't really know how to do it. So sometimes it's okay to hold their hand and do it for them, because there aren't people like me and my team that have been around this business for 14 years. There aren't people like me that personally have, been around Beth and my mom and Carlita and all these different people. So, wherever you're at in your business, whether you're a leader or you're a brand new consultant, it doesn't matter. But you guys, as a leader, it's really given me a lot of success to watch my team like complete these tasks. You have to give them things to do on a daily basis or every couple day basis so they feel like they're doing successful things and they're not just doing things and they're failing. And so that was a big thing for me, doing something as simple as sharing your favorite drink on social media. There is no nobody's going to say no to you posting your drink. Nobody's going to be negative to you posting your drink. So that, in my point of view, is a win. Sharing another Arbonne product on your social media for other people in your network to see, that's a win to me. And so for a business that sometimes we get a lot of no's and we get a lot of negativity when it comes to, especially now more than ever with what's going on in this pandemic, I want to create moments where my team is going to have wins without ever even having to ask a question. So it's as simple as posting their drink. It's as simple as posting their why story. It's as simple as, doing these, typing their favorite product. And I think it's really important to give them like daily or every couple day tasks so they also get to celebrate wins for sure.
And you guys, the one thing I've been able to witness in being a part of her text group and then being a part of her chat group is that there's a really cool camaraderie with the group that she has. And if one person goes live and does their Instagram story and they know that she's more quiet, or it took a little bit more for her to get the guts to do that, then someone else that may not have even completely considered is like, well, oh my gosh, she did it, I'm going to do it. So now they're all sharing each other's IGT stories. And as they do more, they get better and better because everyone's like watching. It's like a training. But that's one thing that I see is she dares them to move. And I know you'll love that statement, Beth, is like she dares them to move. And so when people are feeling frustrated, or maybe they're feeling like they're getting a lot of no's, or they're not getting a response, or whatever the case may be, one little thing can just give them a spark of positivity from the people that know them and love them and care about them. And it could be just as like, oh my gosh, you're so cute, or oh, I love that, or congratulations, or you go girl. It's a win, right? And so as we get bolder in our faith of ourselves, right? As we get bolder in the faith that we have in ourselves to build this business, it becomes easier, and the no's become easier, and the will and the desire to continue to trudge forward toward your goal even becomes easier. So I love that she does that. And if you're leading a team, you might think it's a lot. I mean, it's worth it. I'm telling you, 1 to 2 tasks every couple days, just dare them to move. It's kind of like the bingo thing that Beth is doing. Or it's like when Whitney does her raffles and she's like, I'm giving away this if you guys get this many people on or whatever. It's the same philosophy, but we just need to dare people to move, have them get up off the bench, right? And that's what I think she has. The majority of her team is in the field. They're not on the bench.
And that's like another thing too, I'm going to quickly share when it comes to that, like you guys creating that urgency for them to do stuff is good, but also too, ultimately you're continuing to share the gift of Arbonne, whether it's through yourself or through people on your team. Our ultimate goal is to share the gift of Arbonne. And so whether it's me directly doing it on my social media or somebody on my team doing it, we are continuing to share that ultimate goal together. And so that has been a big difference for me too. Like there are days where I don't want to tell them to do stuff because I'm like, I feel like I've told them to do like 100 things today. But then I'm like, you know what? It's important because ultimately at the end of the day, we're fueling and we're filling the goal of sharing Arbonne on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Without even really knowing it, honestly.
Yeah. And then last question. Good job, Eryn. Really quickly, if you could give us one top tip, because I know people have watched your journey and your story, and I know people think it was so fast. And ultimately, I think you have really grown an epic team. And the thing that I see in your team is that you have wit, tons of wit, and you're now duplicating and you're growing depth. And duplication is the key, right? We want wit because that's our paycheck, but depth is our security. And so what's one tip that you could offer in helping people understand that? Yeah, just one tip. I'll be quiet.
That's really hard. I mean, I feel like I could give you like maybe 2 to 3, but one, the biggest change in my business, you guys, I'm going to be really open and honest with you. I have 19 people direct to me and 33 people in my organization. And technically I have 50, but there's 20 of them, 19 of them that aren't doing anything. And that's okay. But as they continue to watch us grow as a whole, they'll probably join in. But to be totally honest, the biggest change and the biggest tip was me. Every single day if I didn't do the work, my team wasn't going to copycat and do the work because they're going to be like, well, she's not doing it. And she's like a thriving area manager with X amount of paycheck a month. Why would I have to do it? If she's not, jumping on these virtual events and not doing them, why would I have to do it? If she is not posting on her social media and only posting occasionally, why should I do it? And so you guys, the biggest change was me. And so I, on a daily basis, if you follow me on social media and you see what I do, I day in and day out live Arbonne in my life in all aspects. And I really had to bridge the gap between, am I just using Arbonne and posting about it occasionally, or am I living an Arbonne life and I'm posting about it on the daily? And so that really has been a personal success for me in regards to my personal business, but as my team as a whole, because people are seeing that I'm not just some girl that's like, hi, this is my fizz one day, and then I go radio silent for 3 to 4 days. Like every single day I post the same thing as far as my glow shot. Every single day I somewhat go live, or I somewhat do some sort of post about my skincare and my makeup. People want to see that you are 100% into this, because they don't really know what Arbonne is as a whole. They just think we sell product, you guys. They just think we go on Zoom and we sell product and we do all these events. Like, they don't understand. And so it's your job to create that vision. So my number one tip is technically 2 parts, but it's look in the mirror and figure out who you are and who you want to be in this business and run for it. Don't ever look back. And the second part is create a vision for yourself, because I say this to my team all the time, but if your dreams aren't constantly changing, then they're not big enough. And so that was the thing for me. Every single day I woke up and I was like, what's my dream? Like, what do I want today? What do I want tomorrow? And I started to change. And you guys, you got to live in the now. You can't live about, well, what if I don't finish AM qual this month? What if I don't finish RVP qual this month? That's going to take you away from focusing on your day-to-day work that you should be doing to get to that goal. Because like my mom says, I hate that she uses the word nuggets, but it's so weird, but little bits and pieces and little nuggets every single day will amount to what you want it to be. So don't get lost in the future and ignore the now. Because if you ignore the now, you're not going to get to where you want to go in the future. And I am 100% a complete story for that. You guys, I'm just going to give you a teeny bit of my backstory. I started my business on and off for 5 years. I let what other people think of me completely rob me of this business and rob me of probably being an MVP 5 years ago. And I allowed that to happen. I allowed what other people thought of me, what other people said about me, to take that away. And when I decided in September, after I had just gotten engaged, that I don't have another choice, these are the things that I want out of my life, and I dove in, and my mom will tell you I'm relentless. I don't care what anybody else thinks of me, because I know what I have is value in Arbonne. My business completely exploded. So, yeah.
Thank you, Eryn. I love what you said about living in the now and not worrying about where you're going to end up. But literally, if you stay in your business on a daily basis, I'm so sorry we went over, you guys. I apologize. But we don't have anywhere to go, right? But I want you guys to know is that, listen, we are always learning. Beth is learning. I'm learning. Your leaders are learning. Eryn is teaching me so much. She's really actually bringing out all my flaws. If I must be honest, I'm the one that posts every now and then. I used to post religiously about my nutrition and my Arbonne and stuff like that. And I haven't created that, but I do have a goal to do that for myself. But I want you to know that, you guys, yesterday is done. So you might be thinking, oh, I wish I would have done that, or I didn't think about that, or I didn't do that, or, oh my gosh, you know what? You start now. Start right now, today. Print out, or take a piece of paper, and for the next 10 days, write something you're going to put on your social media every single day for the next 10 days. And you guys, again, she is shamelessly, relentlessly proud to be an Arbonne independent consultant. She is shamelessly and relentlessly on point, that she knows where she's going, and she does not worry about what someone's going to think if she posts about her skincare, her makeup, her nutrition, etc. So you guys, we all have to get there. There is no better opportunity in the US, in the world right now, than Arbonne, in my opinion. And so what I want to ask you as we close today is, I want to ask you, like Eryn said, to look in the mirror. And I want you to ask yourself, what do you want from your Arbonne business? Because ultimately, if you don't have that conversation with yourself, You're not being honest with what you want and what you're really doing. And you guys, I am literally the poster child for that statement. I am. Beth knows. So listen, that book, Talent Was Not Enough by John Maxwell, that was written for me. Because I can talk to anybody. I'm not afraid. I can do this business with my eyes closed. But there's a lot of other stuff that comes with leadership. So what I want you to know, I'm speaking from experience. I'm speaking with conviction. And ultimately, you guys, Cassidy went super fast. You know, you have all these people coming up. Eryn probably is going to have 5 or 6 people in qualifier area this month. Ultimately, you guys, it is not magic. They are just in the trenches, relentlessly sharing their business, their hopes, their dreams, and their selves over and over and over again. And the thing is that they're plugging in and they're leaning in, right? Amy, you talked about that, leaning in. And so if you're not where you want to be, or you're worried at the end of this month you're not going to be where you want to be, have a conversation with yourself in the mirror. And the mirror won't lie to you if you're honest with the mirror. And then go, you know what? I'm done. That's over. Guess what? I can do these things little by little by little. And I do want to say this. Don't start by trying to do it all. I need to do this, and I need to do that, and I need to plug in, and I need to be on social media, and I need to do this. You guys, little things that you can master along the way. Get good at 1 or 2 things. Do them over and over and over. Get really good. They're comfortable. Now they're a habit. 1 or 2 more things that you can implement. Get really good at those. Now you're doing 5 to 7 things every day for your business that you have mastered. You don't have to think about it. It becomes a part of your schedule. And now you're in forward motion and momentum. And you guys, and just never give up. I'm the poster child for that too. I mean, really honestly. And you guys, I have to tell you, I can't wait to get into the MVP leadership page, because I can't wait to see what all my friends have said. I've had more messages from people in Arbonne that aren't even connected to me financially, that I have built relationships and friends with, that have just been so amazingly supportive. They're not looking at me like, oh, here she is, she's an MVP again. You know, that's the love that you get in this business, you guys. And that's the love that we as your leaders want to know, that we want to pour into you. And it's something that you can go out and you can give away to someone else who so desperately needs to be a part of our community, and to have hope and encouragement, and to believe, well, if she can, I can. So again, thanks for hanging with me, you guys. We only lost 11 people since we went so long. And Beth, I apologize, because I know you're a time person. I'm like, people are hanging in there, so we're good.
No, you're so funny. No, I honestly, like, this is better than anything else we could be doing right now, guys, right? Like, that was amazing. And I just want to challenge all of us to create the urgency around what Eryn shared and Amy shared and Teri shared, but create the urgency around the action plan. If we can, like Eryn said so beautifully, we have to look in the mirror. And I want to challenge you guys to print out that action plan and start with you. Start with, like, let's start with us and creating the urgency around getting our business off the ground and getting it started. And, you know, I love watching the transformation of Eryn, because I've had the benefit of being a part of her life too, since she was, like, I think 13 or 12, I don't even know. But she was young. And watching her grow. Yeah, you were young, watching her grow up. And, you know, we see it in each and every single one of you. We know that, oh, if people would just not care what people think, and just be willing to be raw, real, and just go put your heart out there and love on people with what we have, the same thing you're seeing happening in her is going to happen in you. And because sometimes we can watch and see what's happening. Somebody, oh my gosh, she's so, you know, beautiful. I mean, like, I'm in awe of what she can do with makeup, and I'm so grateful I know her, because I can sit and watch what she does and point other people to her for that. But we think that it's going to be that particular person, but it's not. It's all of us when we make that decision. And Robert Kiyosaki's book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, there's a chapter on network marketing in that book, because he's not in the industry of network marketing, but he's a multimillionaire, and he talks about real estate and all this stuff, but he has a chapter on it. He said, if you decide to grow a successful business in the industry of network marketing, if you plug in and do what you need to do, you will grow more in that endeavor than anything else you do in life. And I don't even think he's a spiritual guy, but he says you will grow more spiritually in that than anything else. And he said, you want to know why? Because to be successful in our industry, you can't care what people think. You just have to go forward without that. So I just want to challenge you guys as you do that. When Teri brought up the Dare You to Move, if you guys know that song by Switchfoot, it was in, I forget that movie, A Walk to Remember, several years ago. It was really popular back in the early 90s, maybe, mid-90s, I don't even know, late 90s, early 2000s, I don't know. But you're right, because it was my theme song when I started Arbonne, because it was playing on the radio a lot in 2004, and I literally, it's what got me off the ground. I would listen to that, and I would be like, okay, Beth, just get back up. Okay, Beth, just get back up. And it was my theme song. So if you don't know that song, pull it up and listen to it. But I just want to close out with my vision for our entire organization this month. Guys, my vision, and Teri touched on it, but my vision is, I'm not even going to throw out a monetary amount. I just want us to help more people than we ever have before in our history of this business. I just want to go out. I feel heavily burdened by what the world is going through right now, and we have a gift in our pocket, actually a gift in our hand, but for some of us it's in our pocket, and we need to pull it out of that pocket, and we need to serve it up on a platter for people, and we need to offer the gift of health and the gift of wealth, the gift of providing and bridging the gap between now and whenever their next job is going to pop up. Guys, this is where I'm inviting you in to be a part of that vision. Let's go out and totally, blow this off the top for the month of April and so forth, but not because of just what it does in our paychecks are nice and that stuff, but because people need it. People need to hear from us today more than ever before. And I know one day we're going to look back on this time and we're going to be like, wow, remember COVID-19? We're going to talk about this time, but it's what we do when we're in the trenches right now, in the sense of what the world looks like. Let's go out and be the difference maker, the hope dealers, and the game changers in what we can offer people with this business. I hope you guys are on board with me on that. I am so grateful for each and every single one of you, and Teri and Amy and Eryn, that was incredible. I'm so proud of you, Teri, and I'm so proud that you didn't call me back. And so I love you, friend, and I love all of you. Guys, let's go out and make it a great day. I will talk with you soon. Bye, guys.